A new Galaxy S27 Pro leak is already stirring up serious excitement, and it's not because of a bigger screen or a faster chip. The latest rumor points to a major camera upgrade, one that could make the Galaxy S27 Pro one of the most interesting Samsung flagships in years. If the leak is accurate, Samsung may finally bring its long-teased ALoP telephoto camera technology to a mainstream Galaxy S series phone, potentially delivering better zoom quality and a slimmer body. And if Samsung gets this right, it could be the kind of upgrade that changes how people choose between the Pro and Ultra models for the first time in a long while. The Galaxy S27 Pro is expected to join Samsung's best Galaxy phones conversation as a true high-end flagship, just in a smaller, more manageable size. Think of it as Samsung's direct answer to the Pro but not huge demand. Top-tier performance, premium materials, and flagship-level features, without forcing users into the largest ultra-size footprint. The Galaxy S27 Ultra will likely remain Samsung's biggest and most expensive model, with the largest display, the biggest battery expectations, and the most everything-maxed branding. But the Pro is shaping up to be the device for people who want flagship power in a more comfortable form factor. Something that's easier to hold, easier to pocket, and easier to use one-handed. What makes this leak especially compelling is that it hints at a real shift in Samsung's flagship strategy. For years, the Ultra has been the obvious camera king, while the smaller models typically followed behind with slightly trimmed camera hardware. But this time, the camera story may not be that simple. Unlike Apple's iPhone Pro lineup, where the iPhone Pro and Pro Max often deliver nearly identical camera experiences, Samsung may differentiate the Galaxy S27 Pro and Galaxy S27 Ultra in a meaningful way. According to the leak, the S27 Pro could feature a new telephoto system that the Ultra might not get, giving the smaller phone a unique camera advantage in one specific area: practical, everyday optical zoom. The rumored feature is called ALoP, short for all lenses on Prism. It sounds futuristic, but it's not brand new. Samsung first teased ALoP back in 2024, and ever since then, fans have been waiting to see it actually show up in a real Galaxy phone you can buy. That's what makes this rumor feel like a big deal. It's not just another camera gets a few more megapixels. It's potentially a new internal camera architecture, an engineering change that could impact phone thickness, camera bump size, and real-world telephoto performance at the same time. If this rumor is true, the Galaxy S27 Pro could finally be the model that debuts ALoP in the SE series, an upgrade that could influence how Samsung designs zoom cameras for multiple future generations. So what exactly is ALoP, and why does it matter for the Galaxy S27 Pro camera? Traditional periscope-style telephoto cameras often stack lens elements in a vertical arrangement, which can make the camera module thicker and force compromises in lens size, sensor size, or both. You can't cheat physics. Longer focal length usually needs more space. ALoP flips that idea by placing the lenses horizontally on top of the prism inside the phone rather than stacking them vertically in the usual way. The practical benefit is simple but powerful: better use of internal space. That space savings could allow Samsung to use larger lenses and potentially larger sensors without making the Galaxy S27 Pro thicker. In other words, Samsung might be aiming for a phone that stays slim and premium in hand, while still delivering stronger telephoto performance than you'd expect from a smaller flagship. This matters because the small flagship segment often faces a tough compromise. You either get the comfortable size, or you get the best camera hardware. If ALoP helps Samsung reduce the size penalty of a telephoto system, the Galaxy S27 Pro could land in a rare sweet spot where you don't have to sacrifice zoom quality just to avoid carrying a giant phone. And this isn't only about design and thinness. The leak suggests ALoP could improve image quality too. With a more efficient optical layout, the system may allow more light to reach the sensor, helping produce brighter and sharper photos, especially in the exact situations where smartphone zoom cameras often struggle. Indoor lighting, evening shots, stage performances, sports under artificial lights, restaurants, and night photography. Telephoto cameras have always been more challenging than main cameras because zoom lenses typically use smaller apertures and capture less light. When light drops, zoom cameras often fall apart first. Shutter speeds get slower, noise gets heavier, and detail gets mushy. If ALoP helps Samsung push brighter optics in a compact module, That could be a major real-world upgrade that users actually notice every day. One detail floating around is that the ALoP optical system might use an f2.58 aperture. While this number alone doesn't guarantee miracles, because sensor size, processing, stabilization, and lens quality also matter, it does suggest Samsung is aiming for a relatively bright telephoto setup for its class. Another important claim is that, compared to more traditional folded optics designs, the ALoP layout could shorten the camera module by around 22%. If Samsung can reduce bulk while improving light capture, that's the kind of engineering win that impacts both comfort and camera performance. Slimmer phone, smaller camera bump potential, and better zoom shots. Now let's talk about zoom, because the rumored magnification might be the most exciting part of the entire leak. The claim is that the Galaxy S27 Pro may feature a 3.5x optical zoom telephoto camera. That might not sound as flashy as 10x marketing headlines, but for everyday smartphone photography, 3.5x is often the sweet spot. It gives you natural-looking portraits, cleaner subject separation, and a more practical reach for street photography. Travel shots, food photos, pets, candid moments, and quick zoom-in-a-little framing, without needing to stand extremely far from your subject. It's the kind of zoom you'll use constantly, not just occasionally. A 3.5x telephoto can also be more usable across lighting conditions. While 10x lenses can be impressive outdoors in bright daylight, they're typically more specialized and can struggle indoors or at night because they gather less light and demand more stabilization. In contrast, a high-quality 3.5x lens can deliver a better balance between sharpness, background blur, and low-light reliability, especially if paired with a brighter aperture and a design that allows larger optics. For most users, that balance matters more than having an extreme zoom number they rarely use. This is also where the Galaxy S27 Pro could become a camera person's sleeper favorite. Many enthusiasts love the mid-telephoto range for portraits because it avoids wide-angle distortion, flatters faces, and creates a more professional look. If Samsung pairs 3.5x optical zoom with strong stabilization and improved processing, it could produce portrait shots that look cleaner, more natural, and more consistent than what you get from heavy digital cropping. The most surprising twist in this rumor is what it implies about the Galaxy S27 Ultra. Some reports suggest the Galaxy S27 Ultra might drop the dedicated 3x camera entirely and rely on a 5x telephoto instead. If that happens while the Galaxy S27 Pro gets a premium 3.5x ALoP zoom camera, the two phones won't be simple same phone, different size options anymore. They'll be genuinely different camera tools with different strengths. The Ultra leaning into longer range zoom and top-end versatility, while the Pro focuses on the most practical portrait and everyday telephoto range with potentially better ergonomics and a slimmer build. That kind of split would make strategic sense. If Samsung is preparing for higher prices in the coming years, it may choose to keep certain features exclusive to specific models, rather than giving both Pro and Ultra identical hardware. The result could be a lineup where buyers choose not just based on screen size and battery, but on zoom style and camera priorities. Do you want the bigger screen and longer reach? Or do you want the more comfortable size with a telephoto focal length you'll use all the time? Of course, it's still a leak, so the final Galaxy S27 Pro specs could change, and Samsung could adjust the camera lineup before launch. But if Samsung really does bring ALoP to the Galaxy S27 Pro with a 3.5x optical zoom, it could be one of the smartest camera upgrades Samsung has made. Practical zoom, improved low-light potential, and slimmer phone design all at the same time. That's the kind of upgrade that doesn't just look good on a spec sheet. It changes how the phone feels to own, and how often you actually use the telephoto camera. If this rumor holds up, the Galaxy S27 Pro won't just be a smaller Ultra. It could be the Galaxy for people who care about real-world photography, cleaner portraits, better everyday zoom, and a comfortable flagship design, without carrying the biggest phone in Samsung's lineup.